Kanaloa, the god of the ocean in Hawaiian mythology. Water wave. Long ago, in the vast Pacific Ocean, where foaming waves relentlessly crashed upon the white sandy shores, there existed a sacred world unseen by human eyes. It was the realm of the Hawaiian gods, supernatural beings tied to the land, the sky, the sea, and to life itself. Among them was a deity who embodied the breath of the ocean, the mysteries of the deep, and a quiet yet powerful strength, Kanaloa, the god of the ocean. If Cain was considered the god of creation, the sun, life, and fresh water, if Ku was the god of war, strength, and sacrifice, if Lono was the god of rain, agriculture, peace, and celebration, then Kanaloa was the keeper of the gateway to the boundless sea, the teacher who guided humans to respect and live in harmony with the ocean. The ancient Hawaiians never saw the sea as just an endless expanse. They believed that within every wave, every deep current, dwelled a spirit, a great power that was both gentle and dangerous. And that spirit was Kanaloa. The manifestation of Kanaloa. Kanaloa was often described in the form of he, the octopus. With its 8 flowing arms, the octopus became a symbol of mystery, wisdom, and adaptability. The Hawaiians believed that this creature was not merely an inhabitant of the deep sea, but the embodiment of Kanaloa himself, a divine being who could reach into every corner of the ocean, knowing secrets that humankind had never uncovered. When fishermen went out to sea, if they happened to encounter an octopus near their canoe, many believed it was a sign that Kanaloa was watching them, perhaps even testing their respect for the ocean. Some tales even speak of gigantic octopuses so large they could wrap around an entire canoe as the very forms Kanaloa took when he chose to reveal himself to mortals. But Kanaloa was not only tied to the physical sea. In many myths, he was also known as a god of the underworld, the place where human souls journeyed after death. The deep ocean was both the source of life and the gateway through which souls departed from the mortal realm. Thus, Kanaloa was both a healer and a guide. Kanaloa and Cain, a twin partnership. One of the most fascinating aspects of Hawaiian mythology is the relationship between Kanaloa and Cain. The Hawaiians believed that these two gods often walk side by side. Cain brought forth fresh water, the source of life for both people and plants, while Kanaloa brought forth salt water, the power of the ocean, carrying an unseen yet essential nourishment. There is a story that tells, when the Hawaiians thirsted for fresh water, they prayed to Cain. He would cause springs to rise from within the mountains, letting cool streams flow forth. But when they needed strength to cross the distant seas, they directed their prayers to Kanaloa, the deity who could keep their canoes from being swallowed by the waves, guiding the paddlers to find the star that would lead their way. In many legends, Cain and Kanaloa are companions who journey across the Hawaiian Islands, digging sacred wells for the people and teaching them how to live in harmony with nature. Yet, in other versions, Kanaloa becomes the challenger, the one who poses difficult questions to Cain, forcing humankind to learn patience, humility, and respect for the ocean. Kanaloa, the teacher of the sea. If Pele, the goddess of volcanoes, taught people about strength and eruption, then Kanaloa taught them the art of listening and understanding. The Hawaiians believed that Kanaloa was the very god who taught their ancestors the way of the sea, the knowledge of using the stars to navigate across the vast Pacific. Imagine, thousands of years ago, Polynesian voyagers standing before the great ocean, without maps, without compasses. The only things they carried were faith, skill, and the stories passed down through generations. And within those stories, Kanaloa was the teacher. He showed them how to look upon the star Kli, the Hawaiian North Star, how to sense the currents of the ocean, how to listen to the sound of waves striking the canoe to know whether they were on course or adrift. It is said that many Polynesian chiefs, before setting sail, would hold ceremonies in honor of Kanaloa, asking him to grant them eyes that could see through the night and ears that could hear the whispers of the sea. Thanks to this knowledge, the Polynesians were able to cross thousands of miles of ocean and eventually settle the Hawaiian Islands, one of the greatest maritime achievements in human history. Kanaloa, the god of healing. Kanaloa was not only the god of the ocean but was also regarded as a god of healing. In many ancient Hawaiian chants, Kanaloa is invoked for his power to drive away illness and restore health. The Hawaiians believed that the sea Kanaloa's gift held cleansing and restorative powers. When someone was ill, they were often brought near the shore, so that the wind and the waves could carry their sickness away. In traditional Hawaiian medicine, bathing in the sea or using seawater was closely tied to Kanaloa's protection. There is a legend that tells of a village once struck by a devastating plague. The people prayed to the gods, and Kanaloa appeared before them in the form of a giant octopus. He showed them how to mix a certain herb with seawater to create medicine. Through this, the entire village was saved. The mystery of Kanaloa. Yet Kanaloa was not only a gentle teacher. Hidden within his image was also mystery and even fear. In some legends, Kanaloa is seen as the counterpart of Cain, not as an enemy, but as a balance between light and darkness, between life and death. Some call him Kanaloa, the god of darkness. Kanaloa is the god of darkness, for he rules over the world beyond the place where souls travel after leaving their bodies. Some stories tell that those who dared to disrespect the ocean, who destroyed coral recklessly, or failed to honor dolphins and sea turtles, creatures regarded as sacred, would be punished by Kanaloa. The waves would swallow their canoes, or storms would rise against them. For the ancient Hawaiians, these were not just myths, but teachings, lessons to remind people of humility before nature. Kanaloa in the Hawaiian spirit. Today, when people think of Hawaii, they often imagine Waikiki Beach, majestic volcanoes, or the vibrant hula dances. Yet deep within the hearts of Hawaiians remains a reverence for Kanaloa. Many heiau, sacred temples, on the Hawaiian Islands are believed to have once been dedicated to Kanaloa. Among them is Heiau Mokanai, one of the oldest temples in Hawaii, where ceremonies were once held to honor the gods of the sea. Even in place names, traces of Kanaloa can still be found. The island of Kahula'i, a small island south of Maui, is sometimes called the island of Kanaloa, for it was once a center of maritime rituals, where priests prayed to the sea god for safe voyages. The whisper of the sea. Imagine standing on the sands of Hawaii at sunset. The waves rise and fall, the fiery sun sinks below the horizon, and the stars begin to glimmer. In that moment, you might hear the whisper of the wind, the murmur of the waves, and within them, the whisper of Kanaloa. He reminds us that the sea is not merely a playground, nor only a source of food, but the very origin of life, the path that brought our ancestors to these islands, and the keeper of the universe's secrets. Kanaloa teaches us respect for those who scorn the sea will soon taste its wrath. He teaches us learning, for within every wave, every star, lies a lesson of patience and wisdom. And above all, he teaches us connection, for humankind can never be separated from the ocean, just as we can never be separated from our own origins. Kanaloa, the god of the ocean, the god of the octopus, the god of healing and the underworld, remains one of the most sacred figures in Hawaiian mythology. His image is at once near and distant, gentle and fearsome. He is the embodiment of the sea itself, beautiful, nurturing, yet filled with mystery and challenge. When Hawaiians tell of Kanaloa, they are not merely telling a myth, they are telling the story of how they live, with reverence for nature, with the wisdom to journey alongside the ocean, and with the faith that their ancestors are always near, within every wave. And perhaps, If one day you wander along a Hawaiian shore, gazing into the deep blue waves, you may feel Kanaloa's eyes upon you, not to threaten, but to remind you that the sea is, and always will be, humanity's greatest teacher.